Wait, this is a mind flayer.
This is a 602 mitigator.
The futures of several key characters, most notably Dr. Pershing and Bo-Katan, are drastically altered in Chapter 19, The Convert, the third episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. A number of significant character changes were made at the end of The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 3, Chapter 19, The Convert, some of which may explain what will happen during the rest of the season. The episode included a lot of character growth for the main characters as well as the season's main plot, with Katee Sackhoff's Bo-Katan Kryze and Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin returning to Kalevala and the political intrigue on Coruscant. The conclusion even hinted that the Season 3 story might not follow the original plan and instead take a completely other turn. This will not only provide clarification on any remaining issues from the first two seasons, but potentially tie into other Star Wars media too. Past episodes of The Mandalorian prominently featured the Imperial Remnant, which offered a glimpse at a galaxy recovering from the Empire and struggling to maintain the New Republic. The Mandalorian took this a step further by primarily focusing on Omid Tahi's Dr. Pershing in Season 3, Episode 3, who found himself caught in the middle of both these struggles. Bo-Katan similarly saw herself wrapped in conflicting identities, being welcomed into the Children of the Watch despite never having embraced the way. The fates of these characters going forward will shape how the Mandalorian story plays out in Season 3. The Imperial Remnant was frequently portrayed in earlier episodes of The Mandalorian, providing a glimpse of a galaxy overcoming the Empire and battling to uphold the New Republic. The Mandalorian went one step further by emphasizing Dr. Pershing, played by Omid Tahi, who was caught up in both of these conflicts in Season 3, Episode 3. Bo-Katan experienced a similar sense of being caught between contradictory identities and being accepted into the Children of the Watch despite never having accepted the way. The future outcomes of these characters will influence how Season 3 of The Mandalorian's narrative unfolds. Why Officer Kane betrayed Dr. Pershing. While New Republic officer Elia Kane presented herself as Dr. Pershing's ally, she was really just manipulating him into being brainwashed. Pershing ended up having his brain flayed by Kane, meaning he'll be reprogrammed with total loyalty to whatever she has planned for him. This is most likely to continue his secret cloning project for the Imperial Remnant, which may be connected to Palpatine and Snoke. The music accompanying this scene is evocative of the Sith, strongly supporting this theory. But either way, Kane has succeeded in setting up Dr. Pershing to continue his work. What Din Djarin being redeemed means for the Mandalorian. Din Djarin redeeming himself in the eyes of his clan means that his story may not be heading in the direction that some had assumed. The Mandalorian Season 2 focused heavily on Din expanding his views on what it means to be a Mandalorian, and to wear Mandalorian armor without swearing the creed. He even reached the point of removing his helmet willingly, representing how he had peeled back his rigid exterior to reveal the gentler man underneath. However, Din Djarin swore not to remove his helmet once again, and after being in exile for so long, he will likely be more committed to the creed than ever. Din Djarin's clan's perception of him improving suggests that his story might not be developing as some had anticipated. Din's development of his ideas about what it means to be a Mandalorian and to wear Mandalorian armor without pledging the creed was a major theme of The Mandalorian Season 2. He even went as far as to voluntarily take off his helmet to symbolize how he had stripped away his stiff demeanor to show the more compassionate man underneath. Nonetheless, Din Djarin vowed never to take off his helmet again, and after spending so much time in exile, he'll probably be more dedicated than ever to the credo. There are several ways that this development can affect Din and the other characters, for good and bad. The biggest advantage for Din is having the support of his fellow Mandalorians again, who could help him and Bo-Katan retake Mandalore and fight the Imperial Remnant. Since Din has no pressing business elsewhere, at least for the moment, the series could take the opportunity to actually show him living among his people for a change. Of course, this may create a rift between Din Djarin and Grogu, the reason he took off his helmet in the first place, and Bo-Katan may not be ready to follow him in embracing the way. Is Bo-Katan truly joining the Children of the Watch? Bo-Katan was offered a place among the Children of the Watch, and while she didn't outright refuse, it's unclear whether she will truly join them. Embracing a completely new sect with a strict creed would be difficult for any Mandalorian, especially one like Bo-Katan who viewed them as a cult for so long. The Children of the Watch may have difficulty accepting her anyway, since many Mandalorians blame her for the destruction of Mandalore. She would face many challenges in trying to convince those who doubt her, especially the devout Paz Vizsla, who viewed her as an apostate and also desires the Darksaber. On the other hand, there would be several advantages to joining the Children of the Watch, at least temporarily. Bo-Katan remains short on allies after failing to win the Darksaber from Moff Gideon, so embracing the way of the Mandalore could help win the Children of the Watch over to her cause. It would also be a chance to learn about the culture Din Djarin grew up in, since his faith and persistence earned her respect back on Mandalore. Bo-Katan was also a member of another group that held on to Mandalore's past, the Mandalorian Death Watch, so the Children of the Watch could cause her past self to resurface. Bo-Katan chose not to tell Din Djarin about the Mythosaur, which hits a bit differently after the end of the episode. The Mythosaur being alive would be a very big deal for the Mandalorians, so it makes sense that she would keep it secret until she can fully process the information. At the same time, honesty is a key tenet among the Children of the Watch, and learning that Bo-Katan kept a secret like that could cause trouble if she does join them. However, if Bo-Katan were to keep the legendary Mythosaur's existence a secret, she could tame it before anyone else, increasing her chances of being accepted as Mandalore's ruler. The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 3 sets up its real stories. While the Mandalorian Season 3 seemed to be going in one direction, Season 3, Episode 3 indicates that the real story has only just been revealed. It's no longer just Din Djarin's personal journey, but rather a unification of the Mandalorians, in which Bo-Katan will play a key role. With the return of Dr. Pershing and the Imperial Remnants cloning project, this means they'll likely be the main villains once again, with Moff Gideon potentially returning to lead them. The Mandalorian may connect with Ahsoka by introducing Grand Admiral Thrawn, who would make a fantastic villain if Season 3 were his live-action debut. If the cloning experiment is connected to Palpatine or Snoke, the third season of The Mandalorian might also tie into the subsequent trilogy. The flaws of the New Republic to the Imperial Remnant, which will probably develop into the First Order. The show is already bridging the gap between Return of the Jedi and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Important topics might be addressed, and the sequel era could feel more unified as a whole by tying into Palpatine's clones. The conclusion of Season 3, Episode 3 leaves a lot of doors open, all of which could result in a very different plot for The Mandalorian Season 3 than what was initially anticipated. Please leave your question and thoughts below. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next videos.